Talent hoarding. This was unanimously an issue across the board, with lots of leaders from different organizations saying leaders continue to hoard their talent. They don't want them to get promoted. They don't want to move them around the organization. They don't want to share them. And I probably don't need to say more. We're familiar with this issue. Why it's top of mind is with a more willingly mobile workforce than ever, this is heightening recruitment and engagement challenges, retention and engagement challenges. And especially with your good and excellent people, right? It's the worst kind of punishment. Who's going to leave? The ones that are really marketable and great, right? Who's not going to leave? The mediocres and the slugs, unfortunately, they're not going anywhere, even though you might wish they would. So what's at risk here with talent hoarding is just your best people. And we've got a workforce that has learned well through the pandemic. I can move jobs and I should move jobs if I'm not getting what I need, right? So a couple of really practical best practices. A couple of clients talked about, we've entirely removed the requirement that you have to be in a job a year or whatever it is to apply for another job. Just removed it. And by the way, one of the organizations that did this is a contact center where they know they're going to get people for a year or two, and a bunch of them are either going to move up or be gone. And they said progressively, into their credit, we're not going to have a 1-year requirement. That's gone. Removing the requirement for a manager to approve someone to apply for another job. Another thing that a number of organizations have done and have said that has had a dramatic impact, because not only is it a message to their employees that they don't have to get the permission, they don't have to be here a year, but it also implies we're all in favor of you growing your career here with us. Another client does this piece that was astounding to me and wowed me, which is when they new hire, onboard new people, they go and look in the PI software using our analytics platform, and they find out what are the other jobs here at this organization that this person might be great at. And when they get hired, as part of their first week, they get a list of, here's some career paths and jobs for you beyond just the job we've hired you for that we want you to start thinking about. So imagine you're a new person at a company, you've been hired for this job, and they're reinforcing, this is why we hired you for this job, but they're also saying, we've already thought with data about where you might be able to go. There's not a clearer message in the world that this is a possible career place, not just a job for you than that. And this organization's gone further. They give resources to go explore these jobs. They have leaders who know people are going to come want to sit in and learn more about it. They've built a culture around it. But even if you don't go that far, what if you just said to people, we're thinking about this as a career for you, not just a job. And we've got a list we want to just wet your whistle with. Low effort, low cost, but what a message, right? And I think every single person that was in our meeting wrote furious notes about this one. Another client saying, we know the traditional functional career paths, but we've been working on using our behavioral cognitive job targets to identify non-traditional career paths, meaning person with these behavior and learning agility, not just this functional area, but you know what else they could do? They could go over here or here and learn these things. And we could teach them these things. And what it's doing is helping them identify career paths beyond the obvious ones, because leaders don't know, right? Even the best leaders, they don't know all the career paths that are possible in an organization. And it's even harder for them to guess who might be good at what. And so the leader's advice to their direct report, even good ones, is just based on what they know or they're comfortable with, when what the real paths are bigger. So this organization is doing work to say, how do we identify data-driven, non-traditional career paths that give our really good people other options? And then the final thing is an organization that was so fed up with talent hoarding, they started compensating leaders for being net talent exporters. People that made lateral moves or get promoted out of that group, leader got paid. Yeah, that puts your money right where your mouth is. But some of these things are really simple to do and have made a significant impact, because convincing leaders not to talent hoard, we're all going to grow old before we get to that, right? There has to be some institutional, organizational steps taken to kind of end around your leaders. We're not talking about your best leaders, right? Your best leaders are probably already good talent exporters because they're really confident. I'll hire another good person, develop another good person. I can do it. I can repeat it. We're talking about the middle and bottom, right? That are really causing you pain, and only with your best people. So don't worry about it. It's no big deal, right? I love some of the simplicity of these suggestions that people are doing.